My girlfriend cheated on me 2 years ago and I just found out. So, yeah. My 19F girlfriend 20F and I have been together for 4 years. We met in high school and started dating in high school. Now we're both in college. Because we were both and still are pretty young, we didn't know how to communicate or handle stress well, so we used to fight a lot more in the first year or so that we dated. We had our phases of fighting for days straight. When COVID quarantine happened 2 years ago, she wasn't able to have an in-person high school graduation. This apparently really screwed with her, because she had a lot of friends in high school and she wanted to be able to at least say goodbye to them. She told me the night before graduation that she wanted to go on a break until she was mentally better. I agreed, but it was very hard. I was desperate and insecure and begged for her to take me back. 2 or 3 days later, she did, and we ended our break and continued dating. I found out yesterday that she had an online girlfriend on her Tumblr account. She'd always told me she just never used Tumblr and didn't have an account, so I never bothered her about it. But when I'd see her, I always noticed Tumblr notifications going off on her phone laptop. I decided to play detective and look up her username that she uses for everything on Tumblr. I found a blog, but I couldn't see anything. I was blocked. I did, however, find a girl tagging my girlfriend's username, calling her beautiful and sexy and her girlfriend, and answering Q&As with her. I figured it was just coincidence until I saw the girl post 2 sexy pictures of my girlfriend, where my girlfriend is half naked and flexing. Pictures that I was sent by her a long time ago. I made a fake Tumblr account, looked up my girlfriend's username again, and found a blog that had been inactive for a while. But with enough scrolling, she had posted about this girl, cherishing her, calling her beautiful, calling her baby and her one and only, and thanking her for being in her life. I knew it wasn't platonic. I confronted my girlfriend yesterday morning and she panicked, saying that they were just friends and the girl developed a crush on her and that was it. When I met up with my girlfriend, I went through her phone and found messages between these two on Snapchat and Tumblr. The messages were just sending cute selfies to each other, saying that she can't wait to meet her, updating each other on their excitement for college, their favorite movies and games. I found some sexual flirting where the girl said how sexy my girlfriend is and how she's going to rip her clothing off when they'd meet. They never met. But they texted and called each other every day for 6 months. Her and I had been dating ongoing since March 2019. She and this girl online had been dating since June 2020 and their relationship apparently ended in December 2020. I knew nothing about this. In June, my girlfriend was kind of distant from me because we kept fighting, but every month afterwards we saw each other and hung out and talked like normal. Though they broke up, they still talked to each other on Snap as of a month ago. I don't know how to handle this. I'm shocked and disgusted. My girlfriend said that she just wanted attention and she was depressed and that the other girl meant nothing to her. She's telling me that she didn't know how to appreciate me back then. But this went on for so long. I don't know how to forgive her. If I should. She's begging me to take her back, but I can't unsee those messages when I look at her. I'm so hurt. She does so many good things for me, and this happened so long ago, so does that mean she changed? I still had to find all of this out on my own. Redditor's reactions story 2 after. Redditor 1, people who disrespect their partners just because they're under stress are so draining to date. I dated someone like that and it forces you to be more understanding than you should be, all because they're so self-serving. Since it's basically deal with my hurtful actions, I blame my stress on or leave the relationship. There's no way for you to know if she truly changed except with time, but that's a gamble you have to take. It'll also be more hurtful if you can't forgive her. I notice at the end you said I still had to find all of this out on my own. I think that infidelity can be worked through, but how you find out is a factor in if it's worth it or not. Since it's been 2 years, I doubt she would have told you on her own. She also still has contact with her, so that doesn't help her case. Just ask yourself if you think this actual relationship is worth the effort of saving. The amount of emotional and mental gymnastics you'll have to do to get past this is going to be huge. What does this relationship add to your life? Does it make the amount of work worth it? Do you think your attachment and love for her is bigger than your inability to forgive this? If the roles were reversed, would she forgive you and stay? If you stay, you will have another rough patch. Do you think she'll cheat through it again? The way you answer those questions and your intuition will give you your answer. Answer. Thank you for this answer. This is the best advice I've gotten from someone since I found out. I don't want to betray myself. I vowed to myself that I would never excuse cheating, especially if it was hidden from me and I had to find out for myself. If I break that promise and give her another chance, I feel like I look pathetic. I do love her, but I feel like she was never serious about me, at least not while she did this. Meanwhile, I have been nothing but fully invested in her and devoted to her nonstop for years. Redditor 2, and this happened so long ago. What? Long ago equals under 2 years ago. I'm an absolutist when it comes to cheating, as in I'll never forgive it. All those pretty words she used to make a bunch of dumbass excuses absolutely could have been spoken before cheating. Also, my girlfriend said that she just wanted attention and she was depressed and that the other girl meant nothing to her. Okay, cool, so now we know the formula. Anytime over the rest of her life she becomes a little depressed or wants attention, cheating is fair game. Life is full of opportunities to feel depressed or want attention. There is zero unique about either of those things. Just remember that when things got tough, as they often do, in life, she didn't turn to you, she sought the company of someone else. Sorry, man, but that's a no-go for me. She knew what she was doing when she lied to you and had her emotional affair. Why would I believe a person who had no problems misleading me wouldn't do it again? There's an old saying about it, in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on. Shame on you, fool me, you can't get fooled again. Redditor 3, she may have done the actual cheating 2 years ago, but she has been lying to you every day, and the lying alone is reason enough to dump her. You can't even be sure she's telling you the whole truth now about this or anything else. If you stay with her, you will never trust her or your relationship again. Story 2, my friend is about to ask his girlfriend to marry her, and I'm the only one who knows how unfaithful she is. Do I say anything? Not sure if this belongs in this sub because it isn't my relationship I'm asking for advice about. If not, apologies. So my good friend Aaron and his girlfriend Mary have been together for almost 7 years. They meet in college and are in a very close relationship. Personally, I would call them extremely codependent. Neither of them really have any friends aside from each other. She doesn't let him have guy friends. In fact, she doesn't let him do a lot of things. He's not allowed to go out past 11, not allowed to drink or smoke. She has to approve of all of his friends, and he's not allowed to be alone with other girls. She's got this guy on a tight leash. The reason why they're still together is that Aaron is completely whipped, and to him she can do no wrong. He talks regularly about how amazed he still is that she finds him attractive. He's a decent-looking guy, but she's like supermodel level good-looking. They post cutesy couple photos every day. I'm pretty sure she makes him post them. To everyone who sees them, they appear to be the perfect magical fairy tale couple. Anyway, a few weeks ago he told my boyfriend and I that he was planning on proposing to Mary. Of course, we congratulated him because he seemed super excited. Now here's the issue. A few weeks prior to this, I hung out with a friend of Mary, Allison. Allison told me about a party they went to where Mary got drunk and slept with her ex. After the party, they began hooking up regularly, and she had a threesome with him and a friend of his. Aaron has no knowledge of these hookups. I told my boyfriend about it because he shares my friendship with both of them, and he believes that we need to say something, but I'm not so sure how to even go about that. It will destroy him, ruin their entire relationship, and maybe a friendship as well. However, I think in the long term he will be unhappy with a marriage where she's so controlling. Not even that, but if she's completely okay with cheating on her long-term partner, it will be the same once they're married. Is telling him the right thing to do? Edit. To clarify, the cheating has not been going on for 6 years as far as I'm aware, and the hookups occurred recently. Edit 2. Some of the commenters are calling me a bad friend for not telling him immediately. After giving it some thought and reading the comments, I have decided to tell him as soon as I can, most likely tonight if he's free to hang out. To those saying I'm being a bad friend for waiting, this is a huge deal, and it will greatly affect the future of Aaron, and I want to make sure I break the news in the correct way. This man is blinded by love. He's not going to be expecting this news at all, and his whole life is about to change. I'm definitely not going to do nothing because he deserves much better than this woman, and he deserves to know the truth about what he's getting into if he still decides to marry her. I'm expecting a full-blown acid storm. I'm expecting him to be hurt, angry, in disbelief. I don't believe it's wrong that I'm asking for a bit of advice on how to approach this. Should I have told him sooner? Maybe, but what difference would a few weeks make? For all those asking, I'll post an update when I do it. Edit 3. I've talked to Aaron since I posted this, and he is coming over tonight to talk hangout. My BF and I are going to tell him together because he knows the situation as well. A few of you have suggested I talk to Mary first to give her a chance to come clean. While that's a good idea, I'm not as close to her as I am to Aaron, and I don't see that going over well. I would much rather tell him and leave it to him to decide what to do from there. Edit 4. New information has been received from the third-party friend Allison. She has sent me screenshots of texts that do prove Mary has been involved with her ex. They send messages regularly and he has sent her nudes. Edit 5. Lamau, I'll just mention that Aaron just got to our house 8 p.m. EST. Will update later if I can. Thank you all so much for the kind messages and helping me work this hot mess out. I've been stressing about this all day, but I believe I am doing the right thing in telling him. Edit 6. Quick little edit. 11 o'clock EST. We all talked for a good bit. I told him what I heard from Allison, and it went better than expected, but he was still pretty mad and upset. We are all just chilling and drinking now. I'll post the whole story tomorrow. Thanks again for all the replies. Redditor's reactions update after. Redditor 1. Tell him before it's too late. He's your friend. Redditor 2. I'd want to know. Redditor follow-up. I feel the same way. I ran into a very similar situation. My wife and I shared a 2BD apartment with another married couple that we met on CL. My wife went to a party with his wife one weekend. They had some drinks, and his wife pointed to a guy at the party, and just straight up told her, "See that guy? I've been ducking him." My wife was shocked. They weren't very close, and she just dropped a bomb on her. So the next day my wife confided in me this story, to where my first reaction was, we definitely have to tell him. Well, I sat him down alone, I believe the next day, and told him everything I was told. Told him I'm sorry he had to hear it from me, but if I was him, I'd want to know. He was devastated but thanked me. He confronted her later on and she denied everything, called my wife and I some choice names. I believe liar and homewrecker was in there too. She cursed me out and was very hateful towards me as she moved her exit out. In the end, he got a divorce and is now years later is happier. Redditor 3. He might not take it very well, but I think you should tell him. He can do what he wants with the information, but as a friend you should absolutely tell him before he marries this chick. Redditor follow-up. I second this, but be prepared for him not to believe you. Especially in a codependent relationship, he will probably trust her word over yours. Update. My friend is about to ask his girlfriend to marry him, but I'm the only one who knows how unfaithful she is. Do I say anything? So I got lots of feedback on what to do here. A good majority of the commenters told me to say something. To clarify, it may not have been clear in the op, but I was never planning on doing nothing. Of course you gotta tell your bro if they're being cheated on. I just was not sure how to approach the situation. Some of the commenters gave me some very helpful advice. Some of you told me to talk to the girlfriend first, some of you told me to wait, some told me to gather a bunch of evidence first, which I ended up getting from Allison, the third-party friend. Some of you guys got angry with me for not telling him sooner, told me I was a bad friend. Some were sure he wouldn't believe me, some predicted that GF would deny it all. Well, all of you were somewhat right. Here's how it went down. I messaged Allison early on in the day, shortly after I made the post, because typing it all out brought my guilt and apprehension from the situation to the surface. I said to Allison that I needed to tell Aaron, and asked whether or not she had proof. This was when she sent me the screenshots of the text messages. Aaron came over at around 8, and what was great was that Allison came over too. We all sat down and talked for a bit. and we all told him our suspicions about Mary. Allison showed him the text screenshots of Mary talking to her ex, and also told Aaron all the stories she shared about her sexual encounters. What was the most surprising was his reaction. He took it very well. He first got very quiet, and just nodded. Aaron ended up telling us that he had a sneaking suspicion that something was going on. He was not aware of the hookups, but he and Mary had gotten into fights before over the fact that she doesn't allow him near any other girls, but she goes out and flirts with other guys all the time. He told us that she had been distant lately, and would leave rather often without telling him where she was going. There were a few other small things he mentioned that told us he was just generally unhappy with his relationship. He knew in his gut something was wrong, but wanted to believe it wasn't true. We started unwinding with some alcohol after that, and it all got way more emotional. He cried, talking about how he felt stupid for not seeing it sooner, how he really loved her and would have given her anything. Then he got angry. At her, and even more so at the guy. Some unpleasant and derogatory terms were used to describe her. Ultimately, he told us that he's going to be breaking it off at least for now. We told him a million times how much better he deserved. He's definitely not going to marry her. Thanks again all for the supportive words and advice. We saved a good man from heartbreak. Edit, Jesus Christ, this exploded fast. Thanks for all the kind words, people. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, she doesn't allow him near any other girls, but she goes out and flirts with other guys all the time. Every single time. Extreme jealousy is a projection. Redditor follow-up. The craziest part is how they can disconnect the reasons for their jealousy from their partner's reciprocal feelings. Anybody who goes around and flirts with random strangers is a bad partner. Who's to say he won't just cheat on me? I mean, yeah, I'm going out and flirting and cheating, but... Error, brain connection missing. Redditor 2, you are good people op. If you or Allison are ever in London, let me know and I'll hook you up with an overpriced cocktail. Redditor follow-up, or if op decides to visit Malaysia, let me know and I'll hook you up with any kind of overpriced beer liquor. Redditor 3, you did well op. Hopefully Mary doesn't try to manipulate him or convince him to stay. People like Mary have a knack for that. Keep by his side and make sure he has people stand up to her with him. The more help he can get through this. Also try and have him break things off over text or in public. Mary seems like the type to react very badly. Redditor follow-up, agreed here. I was in a manipulative relationship where the GF took advantage of my inexperience and steady paycheck to feed her validation. Thankfully, my tolerance meter is quite low as it is, so this only lasted 3 months. However, the psychological damage was already done and it took me years to fully come to terms with the situation. The part that I am still not able to shake off is how there were plenty of friends around me at the time who just let me stay in that disaster relationship without ever once stepping in to tell me to wake up. I am forever grateful to the real friends who did exactly that, 2 of whom were groomsmen at my wedding. Here for great friends who really care about their own. Edit. I understand the logic behind being wary of my possible bad reaction to people calling out how the girlfriend was a bad person, but I still believe that true friends don't leave you to stay in your misery.